It's my time and it's my time, my time, my time and it's we get raw. It's my time to spit, my time, my time, my time to spit, we get raw.
So guys, very good result. 2-1 at Stoke City in Britannia Stadium. It's great, 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 you know, it's motherfucker great.
Simone, love you, baby. Keep it going.
Massive 3 points today. You fucking beauties. It was brilliant in the end, wasn't it? That Firmino goal was something out of heaven.
Here's to Mix, you beautiful Belgian bastard.
Oh man, I wish I didn't have a shitty cold on Saturday morning, and I wish I could do the same as James White there from Buffalo Grove, Illinois, USA, after the Stoke game. Hello, hello. Episode 7 of YaRAW show here on Anfield Index TV. And today we have a double-decker. We talk about 2 games, which is Bournemouth at home and Stoke City away. The games which are in reality, if you think about it, are the Jekyll and Hyde pool that Liverpool FC has been this season. Both had almost the exact opposite mistakes from one another. In the first game, as we know, very, very strange substitutions in 65th minute to take off Coutinho and to try to control the game led to the ultimate demise. Not demise, but we got a draw, not a win at home, which is not something maybe all of us were looking forward to. The other game, start against Stoke, start with a somewhat questionable and even shocking to a certain degree lineup, because, I mean, everybody was feeling shocked about it, and coming up with sublime substitutions at halftime and getting all 3 points. And in the last week's show, I actually said that 4 points would be the bare minimum of these 2 games, and I think we actually did that, although, to be honest, I expected it to be the other way around. I expected us to win against Bournemouth and get a draw at the Britannia. Doesn't matter. No shits given. 4 points is 4 points. That's what matters. All right, let's move on. The reactions. First, we, of course, start with the Bournemouth game at halftime. John Sullivan. Have there ever been a worse fullback in possession at Liverpool than Nathaniel Klein? Yes. His name is Paul Konchesky. Questions? I don't think so. E.T. at halftime again, jumping to blaming Miggs. Do not forget how many times he got us out of trouble. Klavan coming in might have shocked the defense. Origi impressive. Yeah. Klavan has had a stinker. We'll get to that. But again, a lot of blame was laid on Miggs. And how did that work out for you guys, the fucking finger pointers, when he almost sole-handedly secured the 3 points for us against Stoke City at Britannia? All right? And you know me, I'm not a Mignolet fan. I think we should have a stronger keeper, but credit when due, he was sublime in the second game. Mia, who we found out was a he, not a she. Thank God we know that now. At halftime, positives. Origi has done well to hold up the ball. Firmino once again proving that he plays better down the middle, and the D defense look nervous. All very fair points. Origi was very well against Bournemouth, scored a goal, and generally looked like the kind of person we should keep. Remember the debate about letting him go or loaning him out. I think we should still keep him. I think he's already scored plenty of goals for us, even though being a 21-year-old and mostly a substitute. Alex Hamilton, again, this is halftime against Bournemouth. Our fullbacks worry me. I would love to see TAA, Trent, or Moreno on. Also, bin Lucas for Studge and move Phil back. We need creativity. Bin Lucas, I think, if you had just written that in your tweet, mate, I would have agreed that completely, although everything else is also valid. I don't know what Moreno has to do to get a game. I think he's pretty much as good as gone at this point. Adam, at halftime. Disagree with the commentators regarding Miggs. I believe that Klavan was responsible for the nerves in the LFC defense. We'll get to Klavan a little bit later on. I disagree with that statement. I don't think he's the one bringing the nerves. Don't forget we have Lovren there. So we'll get there. Iqbal Hussein, again, this guy had some really interesting statements. Terrible squad depth, no knee-jerk, but Mignolet must be sold. Can't really argue with that. I think we need a stronger keeper anyway, but then again, credit when due, Miggs was excellent, especially in the second game. And one incident which even sparked the person from the Man United part of the conversation, Northern Loudmouth, Mike, who we did a podcast with, Harry Sethi once. He's actually a very decent Man United fan. There are some Man United fans who are decent, you know. He actually said, what on earth was Wijnaldum doing? Well, that was actually the halftime, and you know, Genie's mistake was irreprehensible. I mean, it was completely out of the fucking world, but he made it. He made up for it with an excellent pass for the goal. And guys, Genie is genius. Genie is genius. Genie is genius. That sounds nice, by the way. Just invented that, but he's not faultless. All people make mistakes. It's not been the best week for him either, but then again, he was instrumental in both games in terms of the goals scored. So I think he's get a pass. And actually, Mike later tweeted at me that never mind, he made up for that goal. Right, full-time reactions after Bournemouth. Klopp at fault for changing to back three while we'll control the game, bringing on Grujic, Woodburn as Studge, change mattered for Klavan. 2 points lost. I agree, 2 points lost. Not the end of the world. Again, we were going into the Stoke game, which we won, so overall the damage has been rectified to a certain extent. Although, of course, if we had won both of those games, top four would have probably been almost a wrap in terms of the league position. But then again, guys, don't forget, Man United are yet to play almost the entire top six, almost the entire top four, actually. So, you know, we're still hoping. But this is something that, you know, the consensus is there among many of the fans. And this is something that I actually agreed with. And I think many people actually agreed with each other, that the substitutions made against Bournemouth in the 65th minute were detrimental to overall performance. Tom X at full time. Classic Liverpool this season. Don't know why we changed formation. Really frustrating. 65th minute, Shakir says, we parked the bus and invited pressure. Pure and utter nonsense. Could not agree more. I think that was a big tactical mistake by Jurgen Klopp. Mia, again, changing defensively way too early. We had the ball, we were playing well, then we invited the pressure, and it's not like we're great on defense. Absolutely. Stonewall, solid point. Could not agree more. Daryl Chun, I know this guy, the Photoshop master. Haha. Can't even. No one knows how to mark a player. He had 2 defenders on him and still scored. The scheme is broken, as are the players. Maybe you're taking it a little too far, mate, but there is a solid point there that the system wasn't really working in that game. LFC Invest with a couple of tweets. What we have changed and improved from January. LFC repeat the same again and again. No new tactics or game plan from Klopp. Disagree because we saw exactly something that denounces your words in the second game against Stoke. What we have learned, nothing. Our new tactic is against this defensive team without Mane has been appalling. This has happened before. This has indeed happened before. I agree wholeheartedly, but nonetheless, I think these games are the exact opposite of each other. Again, making a tactical blunder in the first and then making a genius stroke of tactician mastery in the second game that brings us all 3 points. And again, the fucking rocket by Bobby, my word, that's one of the most beautiful goals I've seen since Klopp has taken over at Liverpool. Right, some more reactions about the Bournemouth game.
I think that Klopp is now trying to figure out how to actually close down games in the Premier League, but it seems like he can't quite figure it out. Going to a back three didn't work. Klavan, I don't know if it was really a mistake or just bad luck, but yeah, frustrating that we didn't win, but honestly, it's not the end of the world. We got 7 more games to go, and we really don't need to win that many of them if City keep getting beat.
Everything's okay, but no Sadio, no Jordan, no Adam. And this why this okay. The result at Anfield 2-2 is not very bad for us, because we have 7 more games. 7 more games and we will need 15 maximums, 15 points, and we will be in Champions League next season.
I have to note that this time I don't have a lot of video reactions, but it's pretty cool that they're global. We have reactions from Dominican Republic, from the United States, and from England. Keep them coming, boys. Anyway, let's move on to halftime at Stoke game. Very tough time to be a Liverpool fan. Hard on the floor. We're not so good at Britannia, and we're losing at Britannia, and whether that was Klopp's plan, initial plan to bring on the kids in the front three and then bring on the power guns, that's yet to be determined. But nonetheless, it worked. And the best tweet that I actually seen in the World Wide Web regarding the performance, the overall performance, was this one by a Russian friend of mine who said that we basically arrived with a knife to a gunfight and then took out a Brazilian double barrel and shot Stoke down. Could not have said this better, my friend. I mean, this is brilliant. Reactions at halftime. E.T. I like what Trent and Klein attack, but we need a receiver behind Origi. Woodburn is a winger and his pass is not there yet. Coot and Firmino need to come in. And they did, and we know how that went. Fucking A. 3 points in the bag. Zhenya Komarov. Klavan equals Kyriakos. Disagree. And not even because I'm a Ragnar fan. I just disagree. Do not go there, please. Should be Moreno on the left. Klein is useless in attack. Youngsters were good, but when they lost pre-game fear. Yeah, again, Moreno is a difficult one, man. I don't know what he has to do to get in the squad, even when Milner is playing in mid, which I don't think was a very wise decision. Nonetheless, we somehow got 3 points there. Mia, again, Woodburn has been our best going forward. The system just isn't working. Yeah, I mean, the incident with the penalty was a Stonewall penalty, to be fair, and he should have been given it. And I mean, we can go on another fucking hour-long rant about the referees, but the reality is that Ben actually should have had a penalty before they scored, which makes it even worse. Tian Botha, no effort, no drive, no desire, no tempo, mediocrity written all over. Wonder if we even made our one decent sprint, never mind pressing. Doom and gloom, but not exactly unjustified. The first half was pretty wank. Aaron Christensen, Chan useless, Klavan bad, Klopp's game plan is beyond my comprehension, I have no words. Another doom and gloom there, but again, not completely unjustified. Maybe a little bit over the top, but still. And more doom and gloom, ladies and gentlemen, from Owen Poley, ponderous, turgid, half-paced shite. Yeah, pretty much. Cannot disagree. Shakir at halftime. System change needed, personnel changes needed. Milner shouldn't be in the middle. Klein shouldn't be on the left. Put Bobby and Studge. I was actually happy to see that Sturridge came on. Not to say that he was very crucial in us scoring the goals, but nonetheless, we became more of an attacking threat when he came on. And honestly, there's nothing I would love more than Sturridge to show himself in the last 6 games, considering that we now out of money. That sounds very cringeworthy. But nonetheless, there's nothing I want more for him to shine. And even if he is to leave this summer, I hope that his swan song would be a massive one for Liverpool, which brings us the top 4. And finally, Peter Clark. Klavan is awful. Yeah, guys, you know I'm a Klavan fan. I would not hide it, would not deny it. But he's had a bad week, honestly. In both games, he was pretty horrid. I have no idea why he was given a start instead of Matip for the Stoke game. To be honest with you, I think Matip should have been there. But nonetheless, 3 at the back was not quite the best option that we could have had, as exposed in the Bournemouth game. It kind of worked more or less against Stoke, but we were largely clueless about how to work in that system. And again, we're really happy. We should be happy, and we should be feeling really lucky that we escaped with all 3 points out of Britannia. Full game reactions after Stoke. Vasily Arlov, Red Ruski. Always a tough game. Big players missing, not going to help. Some mistakes, including Miggs, but thought he atoned for them. Brazilian boys are fire. Yeah, could not have said it better. Mignolet, the man of the match for me, said Playmasters. Could have been out of it if not for him. Miggs is definitely the man of the match against Stoke. Two world-class saves, kept us in the game. Overall, you could see how charged up he was for this game, and no points of criticism for the goal conceded. That was a very solid performance, although still I believe, honestly, that we need a stronger, better goalkeeper there than him for the next season, if we are to compete for any prizes. Alex Hamilton, clearly we don't know that system well. That's something that I just reflected on. Space all over the pitch, lucky win, but gosh damn, I'll take it. Mate, we all take it, but clearly I feel that the system is not the one we should be opting for. This feels, according to Liverpool all day, like our Fulham game at those years ago at Craven Cottage. Yeah, it kind of had that feel when we carved out that very much needed result. That felt wonderful, bouncing, buzzing, and the whole Saturday was immediately better after all this. And the whole weekend, in fact, even though I spent it at home sick. What a transformation, Owen Poley. Power, pace, incision, 2 Brazilians, Chan plus Klein, fantastic in second half. Yes, everything was awesome in the second half. Loved it. 3 points, totally justified. If we get top 4, this is the game we look back on, said Dean Reagan. Well, yes and no. On the one hand, there have been very many games this season that we can look back on and say this is something that, got us top 4 if we get it, of course. On the other hand, and I have to say this again, episode 1 of YaRAW show, my debut show on Anfield Index, was called Fickle Fans, where I lashed out at all those fucking knee-jerking wankers that associate themselves with Liverpool Football Club fan base. And I said this again this time. Why on earth are you guys, some of you, saying that we're going to lose before we even kick the ball? You look at the lineup, you don't feel confident, fine. But why say you're going to lose? Like, Liverpool fan base is big enough to do well without wankers like you guys. I mean, there has to be an honest reflection of how we play. We have our ups and downs. It's a roller coaster. I mean, I'm probably turning fucking grey because of the way Liverpool plays this season, and it's our club. It's still our club, and we're still running for the top 4, and we have a solid chance of winning it. So shut the fuck off. Anyway, some more reactions, level-headed reactions from fans after the Stoke game.
Oh, well, obviously the Brazilians are great. The switches we needed. The first half was abysmal, but the way the players came back, it was great. I mean, the whole team in general was much better second half. The fight, the Brazilians made them believe. Made me a believer too.
Wearing my lucky t-shirt, not lost the game every time I've worn this t-shirt. So we'll be wearing this at every game we play from now till the end of the season. Come on, Redmen, get in!
Right, boys and girls, this is all I have for today. We'll be back next week after the Brummies game away. A very tough match indeed. Obviously hoping for a win. Would not completely be devastated if we get a draw there, especially considering that Man United play Chelsea. Everything can happen there. Right after us, by the way, on Sunday. So please keep on coming. The videos right here. This is my email address. I think it worked well this time. A lot to talk about. Hopefully we'll have more positive thoughts next week. And you know what's coming next? Drop the mic.